Tonight on Wareham Viking News at 5, a 3-alarm fire on Cranberry Highway. What happened? A local man arrested for trafficking fentanyl following a police raid of Rosebrook hotel room. Wareham is set to receive over $800,000 in federal grant money. What will it fund? Find out everything and more coming up at 5 o'clock.
Live from the WCTV studios in Wareham, this is Wareham Viking News.
Wareham Viking News at 5 starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to Wareham Viking News. Thank you for being with us today on our live news show. I'm your host, Emma Arcaro, and remember to join us Wednesdays at 5 p.m., Thursdays at 9 a.m., or on YouTube later tonight for our news broadcast. Thank you for devoting your time to us this evening, and with that, let's get right into this week's news. There was recently a 3-alarm fire at the building located at 2843 Cranberry Highway, located right next to the Elks building. The fire started at about 6 p.m. last Thursday, closing the intersection between Cranberry Highway and Sandwich Road. The fire was fought by 52 firefighters from about 6 different districts and the town area. They stayed out until about 12:40 a.m., at which all crews were able to leave with the exception of one engine company that stayed afterwards for the fire watch. The building, referred to as the Old Electric Building, previously housed Brian's auto repair shop in the basement, as well as another industrial space inside. No firefighters were harmed at the scene, but 2 individuals were arrested at the scene the fire burned. The first of which is identified as Christopher Furland, the driver of a speeding car that almost hit several officers as it crossed into the closed area and towards the fire. He was charged with disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct, failure to stop for a police officer, and negligent operation of a motor vehicle. Another vehicle sped through the police barricade at about 8:30 p.m., driven by Ronald G. LaPlante Jr. He appeared to be intoxicated, failed the breathalyzer test, and he was also charged that night with negligent operation of a motor vehicle, operating under the influence of liquor, and driving over a hose. The cause of this fire is under investigation by local authorities. Well, of course, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, the weekly local COVID-19 update. According to the state's weekly public health report released on March 4th, Wareham has reported 33 more cases of COVID-19, leading to a daily incidence of 18 cases per 100,000 people in the past 14 days. This is a slight improvement from earlier stats. We have also improved in the percentage of COVID tests that came back positive, this time being 3.66% from the past 14 days, compared to a previous 4.18%. There have been a reported 1,335 cases in Wareham total. Although we are still classified as being in the yellow, a status we have maintained since mid-February, we are still happy to see improvement wherever we can. And as vaccination processes resume, we hope to only improve from here. Vaccinations have continued to be administered by the South Coast Health at the Gleason Family YMCA, which people interested can research by signing up for South Coast program MyChart. You can also find appointments with other providers around Massachusetts at the state's website, with a section dedicated to mapping the COVID vaccine. A local Wareham man has recently been arrested and charged with trafficking fentanyl following a police raid at the Rosewood Hotel. This raid, occurring last Friday, was the result of an investigation into illegal narcotics activity. Detectives confiscated 56 grams of suspected fentanyl, a digital scale, $2,947 in cash, and another undisclosed object associated with illegal narcotics and their activity. Matthew Watterson was later arrested in Bourne and charged with trafficking more than 10 grams of fentanyl. Fall River law authorities are asking for the community's help in identifying a suspect of a purse snatching that occurred within the city. This suspect robbed the purse of a 70-year-old woman on March 3rd at around 4:53 p.m. The purse snatched happened to be outside of CBS Supermarket at 440 Stratford Road as the victim was leaving the establishment. This individual was seen fleeing west on Duncan Street from Stratford Road. Some camera footage caught the attempt escapee of the suspect, and Fall River police now need help from anyone who may have anything useful to offer to assist in the investigation and identify the suspect. Anyone with information with regards to the incident and the suspect are encouraged to contact Detective Louis Varentes at 508-324-2796 or to leave an anonymous tip at 508-672-8477. Very interesting stuff, but now it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We have a plethora of additional stories to share, like Wareham being awarded with hundreds of thousands of dollars in federal grant money, and an update on the second dosages of the vaccines for local first responders. All this and more when we come back from the break.
Runner there, Michael Bush, the pitch home. Fastball swung on and missed, and the Gatemen win their 8th title and won for the first time since 2012. The Wareham Gatemen are kings of the Cape Cod Baseball League. A strikeout for Zach Hart, and the Gatemen win it. Congratulations, graduates.
People in Massachusetts are asking what they can do to help stop the spread of the virus. Our response? Answer the call.
Hello? Thanks for calling. I've been worried.
Thanks. Now I know what to do.
Through what's called contact tracing, the MA COVID team will be reaching out to everyone who's tested positive for coronavirus or who has been exposed. Look out for area codes 833 or 857 and answer the call to keep your community safe. Visit mass.gov/MA tracing team.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Emma R. Carroll, and thank you for joining us tonight. We have a lot more to share with you, so I hope you're comfortable. Let's continue. The Jug Shop on Main Street has been approved to relocate to the Stop and Shop Plaza on Cranberry Highway. The approval came from a Board of Selectmen meeting on March 3rd, as the store owner, Mr. Patel, expressed desire to move mainly to expand his store and provide more of a variety of goods to customers. The decision was not met without opposition, however, with the Board of Selectmen being presented 2 petitions as well as a witness statement protesting the move. The first petition, presented by the owners of the liquor locker, is a letter consigned by 125 people against the relocation. The second petition was presented by the owners of the Onset Village Market, a letter hosting 25 signatures. The witness statement from owner of the liquor locker, Shaus Patel, included an explanation of how there are about 3 liquor stores within a 5-minute drive of Stop and Shop Plaza, and another area would not be necessary for the public. The Board of Selectmen approved the liquor license for relocation for the Jug Shop, voting 2-3. I am not in favor of the move. It causes trouble with other places nearby, commented Selectman Torpiano. The new store, located at 2991 Cranberry Highway, is likely to open in August due to renovations. The second dosage of the COVID-19 vaccine was set to be administered to local first responders by February 10th and 11th. Those receiving the Moderna vaccination included Wareham police officers, Wareham Announced firefighters, and Wareham EMS workers. The vaccination occurred at the drive-thru clinic in Marion, the same area where the first responders received their first dosage on January 13th and 14th. The center had administered vaccines to first responders from Wareham, Marion, Mattapoisett, and Rochester. The Wareham Fire Department voiced their excitement for the new development on their Facebook page, informing the public about the step in the right direction for the future. Our wonderful town has received a federal grant to develop several town projects. The $825,000 will be put to projecting like house rehabilitation, support for a food pantry, sidewalk improvements at the Bayview Park, homeless prevention efforts, literacy and transportation services, the Boys and Girls Club youth programs, and more. We are one of 41 communities that received federal funds from the Community Development Block Grant Program. $34 million in total were divided among the awarded, encouraging communities to pursue local engagement projects and improve the area. Governor Charlie Baker commented about the grant, saying that he is pleased to announce the initiative and hopes that would help the communities deliver vital resources to residents. These grants will help municipalities fill key budget gaps created by the pandemic, enabling them to advance critical long-term projects while continuing to support residents in the fight against COVID-19, he said. Well, for our next segment, every month the high school recognizes a group of students selected for displaying the positive Viking traits. Here is this week's Vikingship Award show for the month of February.
Okay, we're here for the Viking Awards for the month of February. Our first recipient is for scholarship, Isaiah Bazazzaro, class of 2025. For scholarship, Grace Bajali, class of 2021. For scholarship, Jessica Guaman, class of 2025. For scholarship, Aiden Jones, class of 2025. For scholarship, Angel Moore, class of 2025. For scholarship, Andrew Quinn, class of 2025. For scholarship, Kent Silva, class of 2022. For citizenship, Indiana Troop, class of 2023. For scholarship, Justin Westgate, class of 2025. Our Scotty Montero Jr. Foundation Scotty Award for the month of February goes to Indiana Troop. And our Student of the Month for the month of February goes to Grace Bajali. Congratulations to all recipients.
Congratulations to everyone who is recognized. You guys are awesome. Anyways, we do have to take a short break now, so get comfortable, maybe get a nice beverage, but don't go away. When we come back, we want to share with you a local theatrical development occurring in our town and help you plan your week accordingly for the weather report. All this and more right after the break.
Hey, do you have Viking pride?
Of course I have Viking pride.
Viking pride?
You already know I have that.
Of course I do. Viking!
Gotta believe.
Go Wareham! Go Vikings, bro. Viking pride.
Who doesn't have Viking pride? It's all good.
Yes.
Vikings! Go Vikings! Stand up. Nobody better than a Viking.
Viking pride! The Vikings.
Go Vikings. Viking pride. Do you have it?
Welcome to the morning show.
Welcome to the morning show.
Welcome to the morning show.
Welcome to the morning show. Welcome to the new morning show.
Wareham Viking Weekend.
Welcome back to Wareham Viking News at 5. I'm your host, Emma Arcaro, and thank you for sticking with us this evening as we bring you all the latest local news. We have more to share, so let's dive right in. In some awesome news, Wareham local Charlie Tacker has always been enchanted by acting, ever since he was young, ambitious, and 4 years old, watching Spider-Man for the first time. This young man has been pursuing acting ever since starring as an extra in The Town, a movie starring Ben Affleck, Blake Lively, and Jeremy Renner. He began climbing the ranks, moving up to his first feature film, The Witch in the Window, at age 12. Now, at only 17 years old, his solidified passion for acting has pushed him to pursue multiple projects of his own, one of which, Luna is the Teenage Witch, a series that was filmed in Sagamore Beach this summer, and although COVID-19 has enforced strict health precautions on set, Tacker's passion project prevailed after working long nights to complete it. Tacker has been commended for his professionalism and talent by his director, Seth Chitwood. Luna the Witch is free to watch on Amazon Prime and will be available for the next 6 months. Well, our weather is constantly changing here in the Northeast, and our favorite weather girl, Isabella, is going to be here to help you navigate through the next coming week. Belle, how's the weather looking?
Thank you. It's Isabella, and this is your Viking weather report. Today will be sunny with highs of 45 and lows of 37. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy, highs of 59 and lows of 47. Friday will be partly cloudy, highs of 61 and lows of 30. And now for your Viking trivia. What is the translation of the dog breed name Shih Tzu?
Potted plant.
Is it A, Mighty Mouse, B, Hair Beast, C, Little Lion, or D, Dragon Dog?
Little Lion!
And the answer is C, Little Lion. Now back to you, Emma.
Thanks, Bellaboo. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Woman of the Week. This week, we're going to be talking about Epsi Alejandra Campbell Barr, the Vice President of Costa Rica. Epsi Campbell is the country's first black vice president and actually the first black president and Secretary of State in all of the Americas. And she's the busiest and most hardworking woman in Costa Rica. I wish we had more time to talk about her because she has a really in-depth past, as she was born basically an activist. She had been aware of social dynamics from an early age and found that a regular domestic life was not for her. She was encouraged by her parents to play sports, study, and play an instrument, and from early on used her early activism to address racism going on in her country. She and her siblings constantly had to deal with being a minority and the racism against people of African descent in Costa Rica. For Afro-Latinas, she is their Michelle Obama. She is a black woman who is gorgeous, articulate, and impeccable in the face of sexism and racism that is taking global proportions as she enters the hierarchical halls of power. Her love for Afro-descended people is intrinsically a part of her sensibility. She will not compromise in her fight for self-representation and equity for black people in Costa Rica and the region. Well, folks, it is that time again. It's time for us to take a short break, but when we come back, we will introduce a fresh new sports recap for this week with our very own Laura Clements. All this and more coming up next.
Hello? Yeah, I can come in. No, I was awake. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. 'Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Welcome back to Wareham Viking News, your favorite source of local information. We are reading the wrap-up of our show, but we still have an awesome report to share with you. Laura, what's up in the sports world?
Thank you so much, Emma. This is Laura Clemens back with your weekly Wareham Viking News Sports Report. Fall 2 sports have begun. Games and meets will be coming up quick due to the short length of the Fall 2 season, so stay tuned for updates regarding scores of games and meets. Prior to today's game, the Red Sox are 3-5 on their spring training schedule. They lost to the Rays 11-3 yesterday. They played the Atlanta Braves earlier today, and they won against the Atlanta Braves with a final of 5-3. Bobby Dalbec hit a grand slam to really bring them over the top in that game. Their opening day is scheduled for April 1st at Fenway Park. It is not yet known if there will be fans allowed in the stands. The Boston Celtics will take on the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. They are currently 4th in the Eastern Conference with a record of 19-17. This is their first game that they've played in a week. The last game that they played, they won against the Toronto Raptors by a final of 132-125. The Boston Bruins lost to the New York Islanders in a shootout last night. The score was 2-1. Their last win was against the Capitals last Friday. They won that game by a score of 5-1. Now back to you, Emma.
Thank you very much for that, Laura. Everything else in the world except reports for sports seems to be at a standstill nowadays. Okay, great job everyone, but it is time for us to go. To keep up on all current Wareham news throughout the week, visit www.warehamvikingnews.com and like us on Facebook at Wareham Viking News. Make sure to continue to tune in Wednesday evenings for a live news broadcast at 5 p.m., on Thursdays for a rebroadcast at 9 a.m., or on YouTube later tonight right here on WCTV for your best source of news, sports, weather, traffic, and more. Thanks for being with us, and until next time, Wareham, goodbye and stay safe.